What's up, everyone? Just bear with me and I'll be with you. Oh, right. Shall we try that again then? Okay. Welcome, GTA, Holly, Nightbot, Conker, George, Wiggle Nation's on the bank right now. Nice one, buddy. PKK's in the house. A big timer J's in the house. Richard Jones, Conker. Oh, wow, guys. Dylan, I hope you're all keeping well. Right, let me explain what we're going to do today. I apologise about the audio, guys. It's been so long since I've live streamed to you guys. What I decided to do with this live stream was I've just done 2 days on the bank again, hence why the live streams have slowed down for Fishing SimWorld. I will be playing it again, don't worry, don't panic, it will happen. But what I've decided to do with this one is I thought we could have a chat about general fishing. It can be a fishing game, so it can be your thoughts on the game, it can be Fishing SimWorld, it can be Euro fishing, but I'm also going to do a chat about carp fishing, fishing in general. Then I'm going to show you an instalment of my latest vlog. You'll see a few minutes of my latest vlog. You can ask me questions and we can kind of go from now. Bubs34 UK's in the house. How you doing? Speak up or we can't hear you. All sorted, buddy. Sorry about that. Gumbo Green's in the house. He's talking to himself. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay now. Can everyone hear me okay, yeah? Clashing with Razor, is that? Hey Big Bug. And Darkness Hill says hi. Clashing with says I'm back. Welcome back. Colm Willie says hi. How you doing, buddy? I hope I pronounced that right. Dylan Redmere says better. Awesome. Right. Hopefully you guys can hear me good. Right. So the latest is let's talk quickly about the update on Fishing SimWorld. Yes, I've seen it. It looks amazing. It looks like a complete game turnaround. And if I'm honest, as much as I love Fishing SimWorld and I do like it, I think this update's going to do it the world of good. I really do. It's my birthday soon, says Darkness. Nice one. Right, what I want to do, let me show you the first part of my latest vlog. Then we'll have something to chat about. I want you to ask me any questions that, you know, about fishing, carp fishing, stuff like that. Let's get cracking. Let me change this to that. Right, I'm going to mute my mic. Hopefully I'll remember to put it back on and let's have a look. Watcher, another vlog. So we're back on the syndicate.
I'm absolutely shattered though. I worked all night. It's now about, what, 7:30 in the morning. Looks like it's going to be a glorious day. I'm in a swim we call the tree line. Come round, when I got here it was really foggy on the water, like a mist. Couldn't see anything. And I sat in the tree lines. I went round a few swims, but I come and sat in the tree line swim, got my chair, set my chair up in the tree line and sat here and watched. And I saw loads of bubbles, and then one poked its head out, and I thought, right, that's enough for me. So I've set up. It's taken me a bit longer than I thought. Yeah, I'll let me show you. So the old faithfuls are out, as you can see there. So I'll show you this swim quickly. I've got to be quiet. Can't shout my mouth off too much because I'm fishing close again, guys. So that's my view down one way. This is on the bank that you can't drive down. And this is my peg. As you can see, it's a little bit chaos at the moment, but I don't really care because I'm going to get in the bag in a second. Yeah, so hopefully then we can winkle one out this time. I do think, however, I might have landed myself in bream heaven, because once I'd put the rods out, let's get under here. Oh, just fishing under the brolly, no overwrap. I've got the overwrap under there, but not going to use it if I can help it. I might put it up tonight so I can put the mozzie mesh on, because I got seriously done over it one year. I think I got about 50 gnat bites. I still got one on my foot from October last year that just hasn't gone away. Yeah, so I put the rods out, just single hook baits. I've not put no bait out this time. I've noticed a hell of a lot of bait going out. So I thought, right, what we're going to do, we're just going to bang out 3 on single hook baits, wafters, and see what happens. And I put them out, and it was like blip, 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 like that. And I thought, oh no, I think it's bream. Definitely ain't carp. So, but I know there's carp there because I saw one poke its head out. So we'll see. But look, I'm going to get some sleep for a few hours, and then I'll catch you a bit later on, and I'll give you an update, show you the rigs I'm using and stuff like that, and see what surprise my missus has put in my lunch bag. Apparently she said there's a couple of surprises in there for you, so we'll have a look at that and see what we think of her surprise. So right guys, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, that'd be really cool. Every little helps and all that. I've been watching a lot of different YouTubers as well, just quickly before I go. And I noticed a lot of carp angler YouTubers are struggling on their waters as well. So, kind of made me feel a little bit, I know it sounds bad, kind of made me feel a bit better. This is a hard water. But our bad luck's got to come to an end soon, isn't it? I mean, whilst the rigs are in, you've got a chance, you know. As one YouTuber says, it only takes one bite. So, and he's absolutely right. One bite can change a million things, you know. I think the wife's hoping that I catch one so that I calm down a bit with the fish. Oh. Right hand rod. I really must get my other Delkin fixed. I've got 2 on my TXIs and 1 on an Eve that I've had to put in because my other one's busted. So I need to get that sent to Delkim and get them to have a look at it for me. Be nice to get all 3 back on the receiver. But I've got 2 on the receiver and 1 just turned up enough that everybody on the lake can hear it. Like, who's the noddy with the bite alarms? There you go. Right guys, I'm going to go to sleep and I'll catch you in a bit.
Right, so that was the first instalment of the vlog. Basically, as you saw there, what happened was I turned up at work. I turned up from work, straight from work, and when I got there, I see a few fish showing, and I thought, right, okay, like a few bubbles and bits, and then one poked its head right out, and I thought, this is it. But what I decided was, where the lake's been fished quite a lot, I decided just to put on 3 singles and just ping out 3 singles. And you'll see all that as we sort of go on. Quick question. So, it's been way too long, you're right. Hedge Stew's in the house. How you doing? Jack Easy's in the house. Christina Hunt's in the house. How we all doing, guys? Happy birthday, Darkness, for when your birthday's is soon, buddy. Roll on the 18th of July says, Big Timer Jay, you're not wrong, Big Timer. Looking forward to that. Rob Vlog 17 says, where are you fishing? I fish a private syndicate in Boreham, my friend. We're not allowed to kind of talk about it. It's called Culvertsmere. So, yeah, that's where I fish. I've fished there for the last 8-9 seasons now. I had a couple of seasons where I didn't do a lot of fishing. I was moving house and there was a lot going on, but we're getting back on it. Lucas says, bream take. Yeah, you know, and there's some big bream in that lake as well. Some really big bream. I saw your comment, Conquer, about handles not lining up. You know that, my friend. Bug, I might be getting on a bait company team. Been chatting to them and they're going to get back to me with the results. Well, let us know what bait company team that'll be, Conquer, when, as and when. Mr. Fairing Man says, hi, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the stream. Richard Jones says, loving fishing sim world. My last session in Spain, I must have had close to £1,000 of fish. Oh, wow, in an hour, that is good. You missed my girlfriend. George Bond, I didn't miss your girlfriend. I said hello to Christina. Richard Jones says, 18th should be fun. Absolutely. GTA, maybe fish the margins at night, BB. Yeah, right. So, as the vlog kind of went on, GTA, what I done was I did pull one of my rods very close to the margin. But that comes later in the vlog. I'll show you the next installment in a second, just making sure there's no more questions. So basically, what I decided on this trip, I don't want to get ahead of the vlog too much because I decided a lot of things. Being that this water is so hard, and I mean so hard, there's very few fish in that big expanse of water, but what fish are there are normally quite big. What I did notice was a lot of small ones as well. Groups of fish. I think they were getting ready to spawn. So I was kind of like, if they start crashing around, then it's time for me to do the off. I'll just quickly check. Always done well, but like you say, your venues are hard water. Problem is, GTA, the problem we got with the venue that I fish also is the water is so clear. It's like tap water at this time of year. And the ducks, as soon as you put a bait there, if they see that bait, they're diving on it, constantly diving on your bait. Until you go out, you've only got to go out, say, a rod length, and suddenly you drop into sort of, on that bank I was on, what we call, you can't drive that bank. The other bank's the road bank, and the bank I'm on, you can only walk down. Now, there is vehicle tracks there because when no one's down there, only the farmer who owns the lake can drive down there, which he often does. But basically, as soon as you put anything in the margin, them ducks are on you. You go a rod length, you're in sort of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 foot of water. But again, it literally sort of goes like this, and then it shelves and then drops right into the deep. So that's the problem with the margins. However, of a night, the margins are very, very good. Never ignore the margins. And I always say that on a fishing game or in real life fishing, the margins do so well. Bug, I'm going to Linear Fisheries St John's in a couple of weeks. Would you recommend for the warm? What would you recommend for the warm weather? To be honest, Hedge, though, I understand. I've never fished Linear, and I've never fished St John's. I don't know why I've never been there, but a lot of people tell me that Ziggs is good. A friend of mine fished Manor not so long ago, and he was fishing at like 100 yards, and he was putting spods out like over the top of his bait, and he said it felt to him the more bait that he put in, the more bites he got. So go loaded up, my friend, particle and things like that, and give it a go. But during the day, then if they're up in the water layers, you've got to fish up in the water layers for them. Clashing With says, hey, Big Bug, I'm back. Welcome back. Oliver Mems says, Memes, is that? Sorry. Hey, Big Bug, I went to a res and caught a 41 pound and a 61 pound, a 4 pound and a 6 pound pike. Then went to a trout res, nothing all day. Just 1 pound perch. Well, at least you're catching, my friend. That's the main thing. I mean, this season alone, I've had a personal best pike. I had a pike on a pink pop-up in one of my vlogs, and then on wafted corn, like fake sweet corn, just sitting above the hook, so the hook lays flat on the bottom, and it was kind of just wafting like that. I caught a 14 pound 2 ounce pike. Unbelievable. So I'm going through a tough time at the minute, and I don't know what to do anymore. Stay strong, Christina. That's what it's about. I've got terrible indigestion. I think the wife's trying to kill me. I've had good weather the past week, and someone caught a fish called apple slice, 28 pound from the local gravel pit. I'm seriously jealous. It's a beauty. Well, keep at it, my friend. If your rigs are in and you know that you're confident in the rigs that you've got, then that's the way forward. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to play the next little part of the vlog, and then we'll come back to the chatting. Again, I'm only doing it in this format because it was something a bit different, you know. I thought, I got an hour spare, let's do it, you know. So, right, let me just get this video ready. Here we go. Right. So this is the next part of the vlog. This is the same day. So I arrived, what day was it? What day is it today? It's Saturday today, so Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday morning. So this is what I done Wednesday morning. Went straight from work, sat up, got the rods out, sat up, had a cup of coffee, and then thought, right, I've got to crash out and go to sleep because I've been up for 20 odd hours. I crashed out for 3 hours, and this is when I've woken up, yeah? So what I'll do is I'm going to mute my mic and put on the...
What's up, everyone? So, I've had, what, 3 hours kip. I woke up to an absolute one-toner on my left-hand rod. Picked up, bent into the fish. It kited me instantly to the right under these trees. I had a massive twig as well at the rod tip, which was all tangled up around the rod tip. So anyway, took me to the left under the trees, and before you know it, boom. I thought, oh, hook pole. Got it in. Just the rig was covered in weed. It must be covered in weed under that tree. But now I've kind of woken up and I've, you know, got over the disappointment. No point sulking and crying about it. I'm gutted, absolutely gutted. What I've done is I've rebaited. I thought I'd do all 3 rods while I'm here, get them on fresh spots. So put the first one back out. What I've noticed is this whole margin area in front of me is like chocolate. I mean, like chocolate. And I spotted 2 carp, not even a rod length off of me. So I've set 2 of the traps in real close. I think they come real close. This is the deep bank. Literally, it goes out sort of 3 foot, and then it just drops off. You've got to be super careful if you wade over here. So I've dropped 1 to the right, in close. My left hand rod's back on the same spot that I just had the run from, and my middle rod I've brought just slightly more this way. Now what worries me is I know there's a mussel bed in front of us somewhere, but I'm not 100% sure where. And I don't want to get the deeper pro out and start smashing the water into a white foam while I've got fish in front of me. I saw a big, the big ghostie. Now the last time the big ghostie come out, I think he was 32 pound, something like that. I think he was a 30. So he wants to come visit me, that's fine. Don't mind that, but it is super hot. It's funny, this place. When you think it's not going to fish because it's too hot, it really switches this place on. The last time we had all that heat in the Easter, was it, or just before Easter, it really turned the fish on, you know. They really got their heads down and started really sort of going for it. So it's early days, we're only a few hours into the session, so hopefully I'll get another opportunity to hook another one. That'll be really good. I've not put no bait out, I'm just fishing singles at the moment, the old single dingle. I might put some bait out tonight, I don't know yet, I'll see how it goes. Got a whole mixture of bait with me, boilies, sweet corns and stuff like that, so we'll see what happens. Just chancing my arm at the moment, and like I say, hopefully we get one. I'll keep you posted.
So, as you saw there, just before I go into your questions, I put 3 singles out and I had a take. As I sort of picked up onto the fish, it was bumping around and it didn't feel particularly big, to be fair, and it was bumping around and it kited to my left. I put the side strain on, sort of trying to hold it like that, you know, and it just run through a weed bed and the hook pulled. But that was my first take, and I thought to myself, okay, a loss is a loss. That's the way it goes, you know. Dr. Lucan, welcome. So, just quickly, I noticed someone's question saying, I'm a novice angler, was it? I think I've read somewhere. Let's have a look. I'm going down to Linear in a few weeks. Nice one clashing. Darkness says, I cannot catch fish. That's the problem I've got at the moment. I'm catching everything that I don't want to catch. I've caught bream. I've caught pike. So, you know, it's a waiting game. How often is the lake that I fish stocked? This year, the farmer's put in 20 fish, but he doesn't stock it often. It's not that kind of water. It's not commercial water where you're going to go there and you're going to land 10 fish in a day. You're just not going to do it. You're fishing, really and truthfully, you're fishing for maybe, if you have 10 fish in a year, you're doing well. The problem with the lake that I fish is it is very deep. So it takes a long time to warm up. So in the hot weather, that's why it fishes so much better. I'm a novice angler, and where did I see that comment? I apologise if I've missed it. Hey Bug, went to the res, yeah. Just bear with me a second, guys. What's the lake called? Yep. How you doing, Dr. Lucan? Welcome. Ali Salmon says, hi Bug, Ali Solomon, yeah, says, hi Bug, I'm a novice angler. Any tips? My tip will be, my friend, just, you know, you got to start with the small stuff. In my opinion, don't go straight for the carp, okay? Just take your time, enjoy your fishing, and, you know, find the fish. If you see, it goes with small fish as well. You'll see where they are, fish there, fish sensibly, you know, and obviously keep yourself safe. That's the main thing. And just what we call maggot drowning. If you use maggots and they're not working, use sweet corn. If sweet corn don't work, try a bit of bread. You know, nice thin lines. Don't go with like 20-pound line if you're only after 1 pound fish. You know, go like a nice thin line. Take your time, read a few books. There's so much information now on YouTube. It's frightening. I mean, I wish YouTube was a thing when I was young and learning how to fish, because I'd be such a better person or such a better angler. Now I look at a lot of people's vlogs. I watch people like Screaming Delkins, absolutely funniest live carp angler. He goes for carp, pike. He does all sorts. An absolute blast. He is so funny. And his name's Screaming Delkins. You should check him out. I watch Ian Throp, is it? I think you pronounce his name. Fantastic carp angler, well known in the carp world, to be fair, I think. There's other people I watch as well. Northern Ireland Carping, or NI Carping. What's the name of the other guy I watch? I watch another one as well. Carp Kings. There's loads of them out there, and it educates me, you know. So use YouTube as your tool. If you're learning to match fish or course fish for small fish, then go on YouTube how to match fish and look what these guys are doing, because there's a lot of good anglers on there. I mean, you know, I pick up little tips from people, and I think, oh, that's a good idea, or I could put that into my own fishing. I'm targeting pike. I went to a place called Hurlingham Farm with it in heaps. Love it there. Yeah, when you see the carp in the margins, that is amazing, Oliver. When you see them big fish, I personally, you know, I go for carp. That is it. My tiddler bashing days are over at the moment. No doubt, as I get older and I find it harder to lug all my gear, I'll go back to the smaller stuff. No doubt. I'm doing well, Dr. Luke, and thank you. Mr. Planner 12 says, hello from Lincoln, UK. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. I'm down in Essex, so big shout out to you, Mr. Planner. Many tench. There's a few tench in that lake, GTA, if I'm honest. There's a couple of real big uns in there. I mean, there was one tench come out, it was a couple of seasons ago now, come out at £10, 8 ounces, I think it was. So quite big, but there's not a lot of them. Fish safely, yeah, that's the main thing. Keep yourself safe. I mean, Ali Hamidi, Mark Pitchers, Matt Hayes, they're all fantastic anglers. I mean, Mark Pitchers for me is amazing. I love the challenges he does. He's such a good angler as well. You know, and his general, just the way he comes across on his videos with his friend Harry that does the filming, I think is brilliant. If you haven't watched Mark Pitchers, he's on the Fox YouTube channel, and watch his challenges. They are so funny. There's one in particular I watched where he sprayed his mate Spivvy to make it more camouflage, but he used blue. And it was very funny, so you should watch that for sure. The next installment of the vlog that I'm going to show you is, you'll see by my face just how gutted I was at this point. I'm going to play that one in a second, just catch up. I'm on Gigantica on Fishing Sim World. I caught 2-tone, £64, 13 ounce carp. Nice one, Oliver. Caught a nice few fish the other day, actually, Bug. Fished up tight to overgrown bushes and all decent size. I put some pics on Discord. Yeah, nice one, my friend. That is awesome. Don't forget, guys and girls, I have got a Discord. I think the link's in the description. So if you want to go in there and add pictures of your actual fishing, you're more than welcome. It's there for you guys to use if you want to talk to one another or you want to talk to me. You can always say, like, look, when you're coming on the chat channel, and I can drop in there and say hello. I'm going to play the next installment of the video, and then we'll continue this conversation. Let me just get this one ready. Well, like I say, with this one, you're going to see, it'll explain it. I'll play it. Give me a second.
Well, as you can see by my arms, I've been for a swim. I just had an absolute one-toner on the left-hand rod. I was snoozing. I'd had 3 hours kit from night shift. I was snoozing, run out, picked the rod up, and man, this fish was powerful. Couldn't do nothing with it. It sort of took me out to the middle. It was just taking line, and it banged me out to the right, and it was taking line. Went underneath one of my other rods. I moved that, brought it back, had to bring the rod back over, and then it took me down the left hand side here. Must have been a 5-minute fight at least 5 minutes. Took me straight under the trees to my left, and then all of a sudden, boom, went solid. that dreadful solid. So I held the pressure for a little while. I thought, right, put the rod down, jumped in the waders, and waded under that tree. Now it's fucking deep under there, as you can see. My chest waders are here, and I've got my arms wet. Walked along underneath all the trees, and could see the fish tethered up on the bottom of some sort of branch or something underneath. Massive, 100% 30 plus. That was, I looked at that fish and thought, fucking, that is a big fish. I'm gonna go as far to say a PB. It looked massive. It had a massive belly on it, big, like, you know, like the conker colours of a common. It was huge. Yeah, so it tethered me up down there. Then all of a sudden we sort of tussled a bit, and I'm trying to put my arms in the water, find the branch. I was on my limit. If I'd have took another step out, I'd have been underwater. Gutted, I am, absolutely gutted. Then all of a sudden I'm trying to free it off, and all of a sudden I watched the fish swim off, and the line was still there, all tethered up, but the fish is off. So I'm gonna have a vape. I'm gonna get the rod back out. I've literally slammed my fucking rod under the trees in the water. So the reel's underwater somewhere. I've got to go get it. Oh God. Oh, I'm gutted. But that's fishing. That's 2 losses today now. First one I couldn't do nothing about. It went to the same area, funnily enough. And the second one, obviously, I just couldn't do nothing with it. It was, I knew it was a big fish because it was just going and going and going. I tried to hold it, the rod went right round, flatlined. I just couldn't do nothing with it to stop it. And yeah, there you go. The ups and downs of carp fishing. I'm definitely on more downs at the moment. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to get that rod from over there. I'm going to get it set back up, and then we go again. Catch you in a bit.
Well, as you could see by that, I was truly gutted. An absolute minter of a fish, a real big fish, 100% a PB. Now, for anyone that don't know, PB is personal best. My personal best is £32, 5 ounces, and this thing was huge. Again, talking to a friend, it was so close, it's so clear, the water. I was on the limit of my waders, literally, and my arms were in the water. So I had my waders pulled right away. I pulled them up. I mean, I give myself a bit of a wedgie, if I'm honest. But I couldn't bend down into the water because one step, I got the Deeper Pro out after and got it under the trees to have a look. One step off that shelf and I was in 16 foot of water. Now, if your waders fill up in 16 foot of water, you're going to sink like a lead. You're not coming, you can't swim out of it. The waders fill up with water, they vacuum to your body, and it's game over. On reflection, what would I have done different? I'd have just kicked my trainers off, and I should have just gone in. I knew it was deep under there. That's why in the video you see all the green bits on my shoulders where I was going under all the trees. And like I say, this fish was massive. It had a massive belly on it. It was our target fish. The target of these vlogs, or the idea of these vlogs, is to catch a 30, a syndicate 30. That is what I'm going for. That is what all the pain is about, all the blank sessions and stuff like that. But The good thing that came out of it was, two good things for me came out of it. Although at that time, on that video, at that time, I was devastated. It had literally just happened. I threw my rod in the margin. My reel was underwater. My rod was underwater. The line had, the fish had shook its head on the snag and popped the hook. And I watched the fish sail away, just sort of swimming away. And I thought, well, at least I know the fish is safe. You know, that is the main goal. I would hate to think that there was a fish tethered under a tree. I wouldn't have been able. I'd have had to have got out, got the waders off, got back in, and dived down. Now the problem is, when you're wading in this lake, it plumes up the bottom. So it's like a very soft kind of clay in places, and it plumes the bottom up. But it's the way it is. That is carp fishing. Now, the other thing that come out of it for me was I hadn't had any takes on previous sessions, and suddenly I've had two takes. Now, what I think that might be is, I actually set up on the fish. I saw the fish. I set up very quietly when I'm setting up. I'm literally, my rods are all set up I push the buzz bars in. I pull the rods out, I put the bait on, I literally flick the rods on, like the bait on top of the fish, where I've seen showing fish. I know the lake well, I fished it for sort of, 8-9 seasons. And then I very quietly go about putting my brolly up. That's why I didn't put the over wrap up that particular morning. I just literally put the brolly in, got my bed in there, moved my stuff quietly into the brolly, and sat there quietly. I didn't put any bait out. I literally just put singles out. That was it. As Dr. Lucan said there, you've got to be careful when you're wading in deep water. That is not suggested. I do not suggest it. If you're going to be wading, you've got to know what the lake bed is. Now, if I'm in unfamiliar territory and I'm wading, I take an old spare landing net handle and I poke it out in front of me, then I know I can walk. I poke it out in front of me, and then when it goes away and it's too deep, I push it in to say I can't go no further than that. Yeah, it's like a marker that I use. I know once I get to that landing net handle, I can't walk any further. Thought you was live fishing, Blue Bear. No, this is from my latest trip. That's what this is. I've just thought, rather than just do a video and put it out there, I'll do it as a live stream and a bit of a Q&A as well, if you want to ask me anything. Aspect, do you remember me? Yes, of course I do, my friend. Welcome back. It's nice to see you back, buddy. I hope you're keeping well. I've moved over to Xbox to play Falls. Ah, nice, nice. Bug, the thing is, I prioritise the fish, get back in good condition. Absolutely. I was, on reflection, although I was very gutted that I'd lost such a big fish, I was pleased that I saw the fish swim away. No rig in its mouth. The rig and everything was still sitting in a snag. So, happy days there. Just for anyone that is concerned, the rod and reel was fine. The reel actually looks cleaner than it ever did. So, happy days there. I find a few scoops of tiger nuts. I'm not allowed to use tiger nuts on the water that I fish clashing, but I know they're a good bait. Tiger nut, sweet corn, and hemp seed, and some maggots. Absolutely. When you're giving the fish different options, excuse me, when they're grubbing around and they've got a lot of different size objects like seeds, they've got, say, a few boilies in there, sweet corn, maize, whatever it is that you use in your particles or spod mix. The fish get, rather than just going, oh, there's a bed of boilies there, we need to be a little bit careful here, and they gingerly pick them up. They get so preoccupied with the small stuff that as they're sort of sucking it in, as it was, that's when your bait then becomes devastating, because if they suck your bait in, they're so grubbing on that small stuff that it just whoosh, and that's when you get your bite. I like particle. I use particle. worst ways, if I don't use particle, I will use particles like sweet corn. With sweet corn, I add things like cayenne pepper. What I do is I buy the bags of frozen sweet corn, I defrost it, drain a little bit of water off it, which not everybody, people say you should keep it, but I prefer get loads of that cayenne pepper in there, get some rock salt in there, you know, really sort of try and, what's the word, sex it up. Is that the right word? I'm not sure. Hi Bug, go to Northampton and fish at Billing Aquadome. There's a £40 ghost in one of the lakes. I do want to travel around a little bit and try a few different lakes. The main thing at the moment is this Syndicate 30. Once I get this Syndicate 30, then I can kind of start to push out a little bit more and maybe go on to a few day ticket lakes. I'm looking at fishing Bayswater Day Ticket Lake. It's round the corner. It's on the same land actually as the lake I fish. But I'm looking at maybe doing a few sessions on there, see if we can win collections. Gary Bays has got some amazing fish on there. And I've seen Gary Bays walking around the syndicate that I fish. So full body wetsuit, that would be the one, Blue Bear, a full body wetsuit to be fair. The problem is I carry so much stuff now, it's always hard to know. I do apologise if I've missed anybody's questions or anything. I did see someone say that they'd sent the rain down because it was raining up north. Thanks for that. Really don't want the rain. Thought you was live fishing. Like I said, this is just from the vlogs. Why are PC specs bugs? What are your PC specs bugs? My PC specs, have I not got them in my description? The PC I basically use has got a 1060 Ti graphics card. It's got one of the top i5 processors. I use DDR4 RAM, which is a Corsair DDR4 RAM. It's not nothing real special if I'm honest, but it's doing the job at the moment. I know they got all these new graphics cards now, that all singing, all dancing and stuff like that. But yeah, so right, let me just go back down, make sure I've not missed. Toby, welcome to the stream, buddy. Rameski, hey Bug, it's been a long time. Don't know if you remember me. Of course I do, my friend. Glad to see you're doing well and growing your channel. It's taking time, buddy, but we're getting there. I've kind of moved over a lot to sort of real life vlogs, if you like. But you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. That's what it's about. I still will do gaming, fishing gaming, maybe some Division 2. I'm not sure yet. Have you ever got snapped on the pole though? Yes, Toby. I used to fish. I used to be a pole angler and got snapped up many times using the pole. Oh, the pole that I put in the ground you're talking about. Yeah, in the lake. I don't leave that pole there, if I'm honest. And the poles that I use are like storm poles. So they're very smooth. So if the line goes round the storm pole, like if I put one out for say for the night, if it's a necessity, there's parts of the lake that are very shallow. It sort of shallows out like that, and you have to get in waders to get into net of fish. I put that storm pole down to one side so I can use that as a marker. If the line goes up against it, it's just going to push on the storm pole. It's not going to snag because it's very, very smooth, you know. Like they're that metal, they're the Fox storm poles that I use. I can extend it right out. So no, I don't get snagged on them. I've not personally been snagged on them. So don't forget, because you're in waders and you're poles in, if a fish has gone round it, you can just bring your rod sort of around the top like that until it frees up, and then you can let it go again, and you know you're away. I've followed you, Dr. Luke. Nice one. Oliver, Bug, what are your PC specs? Read that one. So, Bug, how you been doing? I'm good aspects, thank you very much. Just buzzing through the comments, guys. I apologise if I've missed anybody. That's, you know, Right, Aspect. I've got a question. What is your favourite Subaru Impreza? Hawkeye, Blob Eye, the Bug Eye for me, my friend. I like the Bug Eye. I owned the Bug Eye Subaru once, and it was amazing. Um, you should try out Ox Lakes on Linear. I've got like 60 different 30s, I think. Oh, wow, that is awesome, my friend. I am going to go to Linear. That is something I do. Next year's going to be an exciting year for me. This year I'm concentrating on the water I'm on. Yeah, I've got to get that Syndicate 30, or I'm going to keep going until I get that Syndicate 30. But next year I'm looking at doing France on a lake called... Oh, it begins with B. Bottle, boot, something like that. Oh, hang on, I've got a card here somewhere. Where's my card? It's got it written down. Oh, the wife's tied it up. Oh, well, it's not here. The wife's tied it up. Right, yeah, so, and then I want to fish like Linear, but I want to take a mate with me, obviously. I don't want to fish there by myself, like. I don't know the security of the lakes and stuff like that, so that's a thing for me. But we'll see. And you can have 30 fish in a good session. That is awesome. I just wear full wetsuit when wading out. That's probably a better idea, Blueberry, if I'm honest. Adam Harris says, all right, Bug. How you doing, Adam? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. That's quite a good PC then. It's not bad. Trust me, that's a 1060 is all right. It's done me all right, to be honest. There's not many games that it struggles with, to be fair. I play them all in ultra or high graphics. If I'm streaming, then I'll bring the graphics down to sort of medium, depending on the game. Like, say, like the Division 2, I bring it down to medium. Remeski says, yeah, I saw. Good to see you are well and enjoying yourself. Remeski, I hope you're keeping well, my friend. I miss our days on Battlefield and all that and the Division. Of Blob Eye Family, Blob Eye Wagon, it was Rapid. Yep, they are Rapid. Right, so I'm going to play you the next part of the vlog. Now, during it, I've got to get through these a bit quicker. During this, it's sort of building now. And what I'm going to start to do is start to show you the rigs I'm using. And we can talk about bait and stuff like that. That'll be the way to go. Right, let me move you over.
Right, rods are back out. I feel wounded, man, after that. Absolutely wounded. But the plus side of it is I've obviously got it right now because I'm getting takes. 2 takes today. 1 hook pole and 1 tethered. How's your luck? So just put some fresh rigs on, cast them back on the spots, put a little bit of bait on them, so we'll see what tonight brings. It's obviously going to cool right down tonight, so we'll see. But no one else on the lake's getting anything, so I thought the guy over there got one, but he didn't. I think he had a tench. So yeah, I'm the only one at the moment that's just getting runs, so fingers crossed. Gutted because it was most definitely a PB. And that size fish, wow. I mean, being able to see it made it more heartbreaking, but at the same time the power in that fish was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Never felt nothing like it. But still, we dust ourselves off. Like I said, I know I'm getting takes, so I know I'm doing it right. It's going to be another cracking hot day tomorrow as well, so, but I think I might have seen a few fish spawn in there. If that's the case, then I'm going to be packing up. Apparently people are saying, because there's a WhatsApp group for this lake, although I'm not on it, a friend's just told me, he's saying, oh, everyone's saying that the fish spawn in and that they're staying away. I said, well, they're not staying away because the whole lake, nearly every swim is taken. So we'll see what happens. I'll monitor it tomorrow, and if they're definitely spawning, then I'll definitely move off, leave them to it. Don't want to hear them playing their Barry White music. So that's the update. Hopefully you'll see me during the night with a fish, and then we'll go from there. Speak to you soon.
So, as you could see there, I'd had the disappointment of losing 2 fish. I was ready to go for the first night. And yeah, I mean, although I was extremely disappointed at this point, at the same time, I was thrilled that I'd had a couple of takes. You know, that was the main thing. We still got a few videos to get through yet, but if you've got any questions, guys, just ask. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. That's really cool. Please ask if you've got any questions, because I'd rather you ask. Don't think, oh, it's a bit of a silly question. If I don't know the answer, I'm sure people in the chat will give their opinions. That's what it's all about. Toby says, oh, hang on. Lucan says, also sometimes check net fish will pop in there and you can see. Yeah, fair one. Toby Larone says, excuse me, Else fixes some decent fish, £52 on North and West End, but got a book like 2 months in advance. A bit hard when self-employed. Yeah, now see, I'm like you, I'm employed. I've got a family, and fishing is difficult sometimes. I mean, when you watch all these superstars fishing, you don't see their blank sessions. You know, occasionally you might hear one of them go, oh, you know, I'm glad to have this fish. It's been a struggle for the last few trips. What they're not telling you is they might have gone 8, 10 trips without a fish. And they're fishing tricky waters sometimes as well. When they're bagging up massively, they're fishing waters that are packed with fish. So, you know, these guys are exceptionally good at what they do. But for a working man or woman that's trying to do their fishing and trying to catch a few fish, then hats off, because, you know, it's difficult. It's difficult. Time is so limited. It's unbelievable. I have heard of El's Fix before. El Fix before. A couple of friends of mine have definitely fished it. I've never fished it. It's not even that far away from me, really. It's only across the bridge, and then I'm there. Okay, Aspect, thank you very much for tuning in, buddy. I really appreciate it. It's good to see you again, my friend. Fire Rat, how's it going, Bug? I am awesome, thank you, my friend. Thank you for tuning in, Fire Rat. It's good to see you. Them new Kamakuru hooks are deadly, super sharp. Right, Conker, funny you say that. I went and bought a packet of the size 6 wide gape Kamakuru hooks, and they were super sharp. The problem I had with them was when they were out for a long period of time, the lake I fishing is blunting them hooks rapid. I was, you know, I'm not one that will drag the hook along the bottom. Once I put it out on the spot, it stays there. I don't move the rig. And I was lifting the rod quick to get the hook straight off the bottom so it wasn't dragging along the bottom. And they were coming in blunt. The only thing I found with them Kamakuru hooks was pop-ups. For me, on a pop-up where it's off the lake bed, perfect. If you're fishing a bottom bait, I found them to blunt down really quick. If you want a curve shank hook, personally, and we're going into a rig section now, in a minute. Personally, for me, I like the new Ridge Monkey hooks are very good. Ridge Monkey are coming a long way with their stuff. Some of their kit now is amazing. Some of it's a little bit costly, but some really good kit. But I also really like the Gardner muggers. And you'll see them hooks that I'm using on this trip. I also like the Nash Fang Twisters. Super sharp. But the thing is, hooks are down to your personal confidence. If you find that the Kamakurus are good for you, then happy days. For me, on the lake I'm on at the moment, which I suspect was an old gravel pit, if I'm honest. So there is gravel in there. Not on this lake, unless I'm fishing a pop-up. Let me have a drop my drink. John Wilson was caught in Weymouth asking people to reel their fish in. Yeah, I mean, these people do funny things, Blue Bear. These celebrities, you know, when they're after that bit of limelight or they're under pressure from the camera. I mean, it's crazy. The only person that controls my camera is me, and when I'm vlogging and I'm trying to give the experience of carp fishing on a super hard water, but you do feel the pressure. It's crazy. You really do feel it. And it's like, I've got to get a fish on the bank. I've got to get a fish on the bank. I've got to get a fish on the bank. I want people to see me lifting a fish. When I had that big one on, in my mind, I was already lifting it for you guys, going, oh, look at this, what a cracking fish. I'd already got it planned in my head, exactly how it was going to go down. So you guys could see it. And then obviously I lost it. So 2 bites, I had a hook pull and a tether, like where it snagged me up. So the pressure's still on, you know. It's crazy. It is crazy, but the pressure's on. Logan says, mate, I must say the whole idea of breaking down a vlog is really good. I just thought it'd be something different, Lucan, for you guys to, rather than come on and go, oh, Bug's put another video on, click, skip through, okay, hit the like, job done. I thought, well, why not come on and talk about it? I love fishing. I could talk about fishing all day, all night, every day of my life. And if people are like-minded, they're going to want to do the same. So that's really cool. And I thought, if anyone's got a question, then maybe they can ask it. And between us all, we'll be able to answer it. One thing that bugs me with superstars is that they say they like throw 10 kilo boilies in. Annoys me because 1 kilo is fairly expensive, let alone 10. Yeah, if you're buying your bait from a tackle shop, excuse me, I've got a bit of a cough. If you're buying your bait from a tackle shop, boilies, you're looking at £12, £13 a kilo. My advice is feed particle and just chop a few boilies up. And the other advice I would give you is find a local bait company. There is so many bait companies out there. I'm going to drop a name in the hat now. One where you can get 5 kilos of bait for £25. Still a lot of money. And their name is Cherry Carp. Cherry Carp. They're on Facebook. Look them up. They got some awesome baits on there. Again, just one place. I've not used their bait yet. I do plan on using it. But there's lots of places out there. Like Particle, you can walk into like a Pets for Us or something, buy the pigeon mix and the pigeon seeds. You can put them in your bucket, boil in water, soak them up 24 hours, give them a little 20-minute cook up, and they're ready to go. You know, they're super ready. Or boil them up, let them, and then leave them in water for 24 hours. And then you're getting like 10 kilos of particles for what? A tenner? You know? And then fish boilies over the top. So feed a bit of particle, fish a few boilies over the top. On this session here, I was using a single hook bait, but haven't told you is I had a stringer with 6 boilies. Now, if you go to a water where people are piling bait in, bait after bait after bait, sometimes it's worth just doing a single bait. If you know the fish are there, a single bait with a stringer or a little mesh or something like that, where you just ping out sort of 3, 4, 5, 6 boilies, and that can work, which I'll talk about a little bit further in the vlog. Toby says, another kilos, yeah, got that. Another place you might want to look at is Strawberry Fields. I've heard of that. Doesn't get much publicity, but a few 50s there. That's in Tunbridge Wells. That's not That's not super far. Is that Tunbridge Wells in Kent, or is that Tunbridge Wells? Yeah, that must be in Kent. I've heard of Strawberry Fields before. I might look that up, my friend. Another place you might want to try. Yeah, read that one. Right. Did you notice my comment? My ticket. Fishing SimWorld. No, Richard, I didn't. How long ago was that? Have a look. I apologise if I miss your comments, guys. Hey, Bug, do you feel for you a loss is bad enough, but when is a fish? Ouch. I retype it, Richard, and then I can read it again. Sorry, mate. Read that one. Did you? No, read that one. Blue Bear says, sea fishing will teach anyone coarse fisherman nothing for certain. Right, sea fishing will teach anyone. Coarse fishing, nothing for certain. Sea fishing's hard as well. I'm not much of a sea angler. I have done a little bit. I fished in Norway in the fjords, and that was good fun. I'm not going to lie, that was really good fun. But for me, I've always been lakes and rivers for some reason. I'm not sure. I'm not a big fish eater, so that might be why I like the idea of catch and release. I'm not a super eco tree hugger or anything. I just, it's just a thing for me. We pay a lot of money for our tickets, and that's all it is. But hats off to I've got friends that fish on the beach where I live, and they love it. They just go, "Oh, come down," and you go down there. It's like gale force winds. It's like the rain coming in. It's like, and I go in. At least with carp fishing, I get in the bivvy, zip it door down. Right, I'm all right. And if it starts pouring with rain, I'm all right until the rain eases off. Then I can open the door again, roll it up. Job done. Right. Before we go any further, I'm gonna do the next video. Let me just get it ready. Okay, this is a little bit one now. Again, this is me in my bivvy just talking about stuff. So I'll quickly play this one, and then we'll continue. Don't forget, any questions, guys, just ask. Okay, please ask. I'd rather you ask the question than not. Right, let me just put that on.
Morning all. So, pretty quiet night. A few liners. Nothing in comparison to yesterday, obviously. Bit of a disaster yesterday. Played on my mind for a lot, but that's the way it goes. But I think we could be in for another bite, if I'm honest. No one else on the lake has had anything. Just getting the reports from around the lake this morning, as you do. But I've still got fish in front of me, so I'm hoping they're going to get their heads down again. And yeah, I think we could be in for a couple of bites. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Like I said, absolutely devastated I was yesterday. I wanted to do some more filming, but after I lost that fish, the one that got tethered up, I just kind of thought, it got to about 9:30 last night, and it was still quite bright. I mean, the moon was quite bright, it was clear skies, and I just thought, I'm going to bed. So yeah, I jumped in bed, and that was that. So I'm gonna leave the rods out for this morning, and then sorry, I'm looking around. I'm not really looking at you guys as it was. I'm sort of left and right, It's like, what, 6:30 in the morning now? I think it is. 6 o'clock. Nice and bright for 6 o'clock. They reckon it's going to be a warm one today, but this lake generally fishes quite well when it's warm. Like I say, no one else has had a bite. But we've got fish all over us. I had 2 bites yesterday, so both of which we lost, obviously. Gutted, I am still gutted, but that's fishing. That is fishing. We're just going to wipe our mouths and start again. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I spoke to a friend on the phone last night and was telling him about it, a guy who fishes on here. And I said to him, the only good thing is what I'm doing is working, and you know, I'm getting runs, I'm getting bites. So, and that was something we hadn't experienced over the last few vlogs, as you know. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to do this, and I can finally put a fish on the bank for you guys. But we'll see what happens. I'll show you my view today. Let me spin this round. I'm going to turn you around. There we go. That's what we're looking at this morning. Nice and bright. Beautiful day. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be red hot. Just about to see my rods there. Look. That's what we're looking at. So, hopefully, just turn you back round. There we go. So hopefully we can get one out. I'm going to show you the rigs and things I'm using. I took things back to basics on this trip, and it really does seem to have done the trick. Although before I was using like the knotless knot with the fancy blowback and all that, we kind of we're doing the same sort of thing, knotless, basic knotless knot, and that is it. That is it. I've gone back to bare bone basics, and yeah, it bought me 2 bites yesterday. Just fishing, you know, wafters, snowmen, things like that. So it seems to have done the trick. Let's hope so anyway. Right, I'm going to sign off for now, and I'll catch you in a bit.
So we're going to go into the rigs and stuff, and stuff like that. Just reading through your comments and answering. Blue Bear's talking about a few dog biscuits and stuff. Another cheap option for bait, guys, and one that seems to be very forgotten about these days is Vitamin, which is you want the original Vitamin. You don't want the one with chicken and all that. You just want the original Vitamin. It's a dog food, dried dog food. You can buy like 10 kilos for about 15 quid. And all you do, tip half it in your bucket, fill it with half with water, so that the Vitamin's, you know, got plenty of water. Leave it for an hour, and it expands and soaks up. Then you can pick the Vitamin up. You can add in it sweet corn, hemp, whatever. And you can get it up, and you can pack it up like balls of ground bait, and you can ping that out as well. A really, really good idea. Good luck, Big Bug. I'm out on the bank tomorrow. Good luck, Rival. I hope it goes well. Payne Smith says, trading Euro fishing for the real deal. I love it. Yeah. Nice one, buddy. I appreciate that. We're still going to be doing, you know, fishing sim world and things like that. Still going to play the game. Problem is, like, with work, with family time, with fishing at the moment, the real life thing, it's quite time limited, you know, so I'm doing the best I can, but we'll see what happens. Have you heard of Tub Bar Manor? Yes, I have heard of Tub Bar Manor before. Willinghurst, Twinehurst. I fished my personal best, Dr. Lucan, comes from Twinehurst Specimen Pit, which was a fish called Baby Baz, which I had out at £32.5. Yeah, so I know Twinehurst in Surrey. Rhinook, yeah, Kent, Longwater. I've heard of Longwater. I fished Hampton Court on the River Thames. I think I will need it. No, you'll be good, my friend. I think the weather's pretty, you know, we got that. You put your hand in the water at the moment, and it's really quite warm, the water, you know. Just hopefully a lot of these fish are getting their spawning out of the way, but that's something I'll come back to. What I want to do is I want to go on to the next 2 videos. They're very short, but they show you the rig I'm using, and then we can continue our sort of questions and stuff, if you like. I want to get through it for you guys. I don't want you guys getting bored, you know. That's the main thing. Right, let me ping over.
Alright, so I thought I'd show you the rig I'm using. This is what's known as the German rig. And basically what it is, it's just a knotless knot here. I'll bring it in real close. There we go. So on like a bait screw, or you can have it on whatever. And then basically you just fish a wafter on there. And that just gives a little bit of a movement. It's a rig that I used to use years ago, and I've not used it for a long time. Now, this is on a N-Trap Soft 15 £, and basically you put a piece of putty probably a little over a centimetre away. Now that's really important, that piece of putty. That piece of putty's got to be, you know, within a centimetre, in my opinion, for the rig to work properly. So knotless knot, little hook bead there. Now the hook bead needs to be kind of just in line with the point or the barb. So you can see there, I'll just bring it in real close, just by the point of the barb for the rig to work properly. That's the rig that's doing me the damage. So it's just a basic knotless knot. And all you do, where you would normally have your hair coming off, all I've done is trimmed it back, burnt it back so that there's nothing there. So all you've got there is the knot. Now I fished that on a curve shank. This one's a size 6. Might be a mugger, this one, from Gardner. Real good hooks, real sharp. I mean, like razor sharp. So yeah, that's what's been doing me the damage. I fish it with a wafter, or you can use like a snowman. This particular one I've got here has got a bait screw. Has got a screw on it, so you can just screw the bait on. However, the ones that I've got in the water at the moment, they've got just like little ring swivels on, and they basically you just floss it off, tie it through with floss, cut the floss down, melt it down. I'll show you later when I do a rebait, I'll record it. So I just wanted to show you the rig that was doing the damage, really. Just a figure of 8 loop there, so I can attach it to my rig, and that is basically it. The N-Trap Soft gives me enough to kick it away, but also keeps it supple. The most important thing with this rig is once you've tied it with this N-Trap Soft, you've got to steam it straight. You don't want the rig all sitting like this on the bottom. It needs to be straight. This one's been in the box, so it needs steaming again. It's just been in my my rig bag. Excuse me. So, I mean, if you haven't used this rig before and you're on a tricky water, I like to keep things really basic, really. That's what I decided to do with this trip. Just real basic it down, back to basics. Like I said, this is a rig I used to use years ago, and I was sitting there and I thought, I'm going to try this. I don't know why it's called a German rig, but it definitely is. But this is what's doing the business for me at the moment, guys. Give it a try. I mean, get the wafters on. If you don't know what a wafter is, it's basically like what'll happen with this rig is this rig will lay flat. Excuse me. Lay flat on the bottom, and the bait will sit just above the hook, so masking the hook. Perfect little rig. Honestly, if you've not used it before and you're on a tricky little water, I recommend you give it a go. Now, hopefully you can put something into your own fishing out of these vlogs. That's the idea of it. I'm on a super hard water, so you know, a tricky water where not a lot of fish come out, and then I've had 2 bites on this rig, so it kind of says something, doesn't it? But I'll show you, like I say, later on how I floss it on and things like that, and hopefully you can put that into your fishing. Right, so this is one of my rigs. I've got it on a lead clip system. which will actually break free and become free running, that will, because what I've done is I've squashed down the eye of the swivel, so when the fish takes that, it'll just break free and become free running. The lead rubber I've pushed on, but I'm 100%, or I 100% know that will break free, that swivel from that lead clip system. I haven't pushed that mega far on. I've pushed it on to get it on here so it doesn't come off, but what I'll do is after every cast I pull that rubber back, like before every cast I pull that rubber back, wet the end with some saliva as it was, and then just gently push it on. Right, so I've got a piece of bait floss here. I'm going to show you how I put the boilie on. Basically, the hardest thing is putting the floss through here, especially when your eyes are like mine and not that great. There we go. So we're just going to push that through there, like so. So as you can see, it's like that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get one of me wafters, which is, I'm going to use a nice yellow one, I think. Then the baiting needle I use is one from Calder. It's got the latch. You don't have to use that. It's, you know, there's no rule to say this is what you got to use. This is just one I've had for years, and I haven't broke it yet. So, but any baiting needle will do. So you just throw your bait, and now what you want to do is we want to put it onto here. So the two ends are open, so I'll just even them out. Then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the bait floss on. I'm going to close the latch so I can push the bait on, and then I'm just going to pull it through like so. Now as you can see, it's down to the swivel. Hopefully you're getting all this. Now I'm just going to push that or tease that onto that swivel, but I don't want to completely bury that swivel. I want it so that it's like just like that. There you go. So it's just about, I don't know if you can see, you can just see that swivel. So it gives it a bit of movement that I want, and when that's on the bottom, then that'll sit literally like that over the top of that hook. Now what I want to show you, this is the bit I want to show you, how I attach the end with the floss. So I'm just going to cut that off, get a lighter, and this is the bit. So we just melt that down, just keep melting it down, and spread the end where it's melted, and that is it. That is basically it. Just double check it, just for my own peace of mind. And that is how, and that will stay on. That will not come off, because as you can see by the little dot, that'll hold it on where it's melted and gone across it like that, and that is perfectly smooth. Yeah, and that's what's been doing the business. This is the rig that's been doing the business again with the putty. I've moved the putty down just slightly, just moulded that on, so that when the fish picks it up, it will, you know, do the business. With a wafter, I find that because they're light, they go straight into the back of the fish's mouth, and then once it tries to reject it, then happy days. Just check that the hook is sharp, because it's been out there all night, and that's like a razor still. So it's digging the back of my nail. I don't know if you can see that. It's not going nowhere. As soon as I touch it, it grips. If you do the nail test and it skids across your nail, then it's time to change your hook. But that is basically it, guys. That is what I wanted to show you. This is the rig, so it will sit like that on the lake bed as it was. It'll just sit, you know, with the hook underneath it, perfect. And you can see just how the hook sort of sits. I'm trying to show you on this camera, it's impossible. Just how it sits, just how devastating that can be. I'm going to steam this rig straight now. As you can see, it's not quite right, so I'm going to steam it straight and then get it back out there. Cheers, guys.
So as you can see there was nothing complicated in that rig. It was a very easy rig. Wafters, people should be using them more often, in my opinion. I think they're fantastic. The floss, as you melt the floss down, it kind of creates like a boiliage stop. So if you are boilie fishing, then that's all good. Blue Bear says, I always use plastic pre-rig thingy-majiggies. If that's what's working for you, Blue Bear, then, you know, it's all about confidence. I also use plastic baits when the time's right. Like if I'm fishing a lot of sweet corn, I will use plastic corn over the top of the sweet corn. Plastic baits have definitely got their place in carp fishing, 100%. There's no, I mean, especially now, companies are putting that flavourings on the plastic, and you can smell it, and it lasts for months and months and months, you know. So there's always a place for that. Thank you for tuning in, Big Time Joe. I really appreciate that. Welcome to the stream, Jacob. I hope you're keeping well. Any fish? We lost a couple earlier on in this live stream. I've got a couple of silly shots, just stuff that you don't normally see, really, which I'll probably just play as it goes, as I talk over the top of it. Maybe we'll do that. These are things that I do when I'm getting the vlog ready, so I want shots of the rods and stuff like that. I'll quickly show you what I mean. I'll leave the mic open so that you guys can see it. So stuff like this, I have it so you can like see the rods, and you might see like a 10-second clip of this or 5 seconds of this. You know, it's just to give you an idea of what's going on more than anything. Then this is the sort of stuff that you wouldn't see, where I get up and I'm walking around with the camera. Like I might take a small piece of that out. That's the area that I lost the fish. Devastated. Take care, Conker. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Then, like, this is where I'm thinking, right, what I'll do is I'll do a shot of me looking out on the water. This is the sort of uncut stuff that you don't normally see. Apologies about the wind noise. This is uncut stuff that you don't usually see. You know, you wouldn't normally see me walking back, looking at the camera and things like that. Any chance outtakes, line slips and banks, etc.? That might be something I might do for the future, Blue Bear, for sure. Again, then I've got things like this, where I'm just sort of sitting in the chair watching the water. You can just about hear my radio in the background as well, so hopefully YouTube don't pick up on that. Cast snaps. I don't have a lot of break-offs, if I'm honest, because what it is, if I'm fishing at distance, I use the bait boat, because I can use the bait boat where I am. So as you can see there, you can kind of see the lines from where the farmer's driven down there, but generally you can't drive on this bank. And he definitely can't drive down here now because I'm bivvied up. So all good there. And I'm looking for like a close-up shot. These are the excuse the camera moving around. These are the gardener bugs. I can't find my mouse. There it is. The bobbins there are the gardener mini bugs. One of them looks broken actually. Just looking at that, just there. And these are the Delks. These are TXIs. This one's an Eve because my other TXI is broken, so I've got to get it sent off and fixed. This is a £15 subline that I'm using on the reels, and these are the extreme. These are extreme reels. They're the Shimano XTA Big Pits. One thing I will say about them big pits is they're cracking reels but they're super heavy. So next year I'm looking at getting some new reels, something a bit lighter and stuff like that. I will do an outtakes. I think maybe sort of later in the year. We'll do a few more trips, and then I'll do my outtakes of my little mess ups and stuff. To be honest, I haven't kept them. So what I'll do now, though, now I know you're asking for outtakes, I will keep them and I'll put them in a separate folder, and we kind of do it like that. Be rolling, effectively filling shots. Yeah, exactly right. Just trying to fill shots and stuff like that. And that's kind of what it's about. It's, you know, it's when you're vlogging, it's very difficult to know exactly what to put in. It's very difficult sometimes to fill it. So, right, I'll quickly play you this clip, and then it goes into a little section that I'm going to add to the vlogs, which is called the Wife's Special or something, I think I've called it, but you'll see what I mean in a second. Just an idea that I've had, but I'll quickly show you this one.
Watch here, everyone. Sorry about the noise of the wind, it is a bit blowy. But I had to reel in, I had to go and, you know, duty calls, I had to go down to the toilet. But left the rods in for a couple of hours, to be honest. Rest the swim a little bit, put a bit of bait out before I went. When I spoke to the guy over there, he's not had nothing in 4 days. So yeah, I think he had a tench. He said he lost one yesterday as well. So seems to be the thing at the moment. Still wounded after that loss, even now. But there you go, that's life. But we've put the baits back out on the spots, so we'll wait and see. I mean, when I'm walking around, all this margin here, it's like chocolate colour, you know. So there's definitely fish in the area. When I went over the other side, even though the wind's pumping over there, there's no colour over there whatsoever. So they're definitely on this margin still. I've seen a couple of shows, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep you informed. Watcha. So, the wife's surprise. Now, what is the wife's surprise? The wife's surprise is what she puts in one of my bags as a surprise. So, this trip I've got the classic American Penn State pretzels. Oh, check them out. Oh man, I love pretzels. I can't wait to get into them. I'm assuming Morrison's or someone does them. The only problem I've got with pretzels these days is they don't put enough salt on them anymore. They used to be amazing, but anyway, yeah, so I'm happy with that. And I also found these cookies and cream. I think they're like Belmont biscuits. Check that out. Cookies and cream. Woo! Can't wait to give them a go. I think we'll give them a go right now as it goes. Why not? Sun's blazing, fish ain't biting, so I'm gonna bite. Let's have a look. Again, I think these are from Morrison's or somewhere. Oh, they're like an Oreo. Yeah, they're like. Oh man. Oh. They're amazing. Yeah, like a little Oreo. They're like Oreos. I'll tell you what, they're a bit naughty then. I better have one more just in case, you know, just to make sure. recommend them. If you like cookies and cream, then Belmont biscuits, they're called. There's a tiny little thing there, it says Belmont biscuits. There you go, just there. Cookies and cream. Highly recommend them. And the pretzels, I love pretzels anyway. I'll open them a bit later. That is the wife's surprise of the week. Right, let's try these pretzels. Rip the packet a bit. Whoa, look at that. I love pretzels. Not bad for a pretzel, that. I gotta say. Wife done well there. Penn State pretzels. Classic American pretzels. Penn State. Not bad. I mean, a bit dry, like a pretzel is. But that is not bad. Thank you to my wife, Kel. She's done well there. I'm going to keep enjoying these. I'll catch you in a bit.
Alright, so the wife special or something, I need a name for it, but that's going to become a thing for sure. That was pretty much the end of the trip. I went through that night, had a few sort of liners, nothing major. The fish were real close, so I did have a couple of rods tight in the margins. But just quickly, I'll tell you what happened. I went for a walk the following morning because I was going to stay for another night. And I'll show you what I found. I'll quickly show you. Here we go. And this one. Excuse the camera work. There you go, look. So it worked out, the fish had started spawning. Now, I'm one of these guys that when the fish starts spawning, I'm off. You know, I don't really want to catch fish that are trying to spawn and using all their energy to do the whole Barry White thing. So that was me done. Fish must know you're eating. Yeah, exactly right. It used to work for me when I was into like coarse fishing, you know, the smaller stuff. Or I was pole fishing. As soon as I picked up a sandwich or a cup of coffee or something, I used to then get a bite. That was a guarantee. But like I say, on that lake I'm on, there was so many fish. That wasn't great, that footage, but they were crashing and banging. And I had a little walk along. That was just to my right, that was, in that little cluster of trees. And I thought to myself then, you know, there's no point sort of staying the extra night. I do feel that we would have had one, but I'm not going to fish, or what I call catching at all costs. That's not what I'm about. It's hard enough that I can see why people would, and a lot of people stayed over there. You know, that's up to them. But for me, it was like, they're spawning now. I don't want to catch a fish that's knackered and used all its energy spawning, so I'm just going to pull off and go home, you know. Hence why the vlog kind of finished like that, rather than me sitting in the van Telling you. I do appreciate everyone that keeps up with the vlogs. Like I said, our target is a Syndicate 30. It's very hard, and I appreciate you all keeping an interest, you know. We will catch one. It's a dead cert. It will happen. But when, we're not quite sure. Bearing in mind, on this lake, the longest streak I went on a good few years ago was 25 nights. And when I caught one, it was a £12 common. And a friend of mine was, you've got one, you've got one. We were doing a social in the same swim. And I said to him, take a picture. He went, it's £12. I said, take a picture. I've gone 25 nights for this fish. So take a picture. Do you know what I mean? If you've got any questions, now's the time to fire it in, guys. I am going to end the stream shortly. So I'm just sorting my vape out. It's decided to take a shit all over my hand. Yeah, any questions, just ask. Anything to do with fishing, carp fishing, or anything like that. Bank food, I saw someone saying about a new series. Who was it? Yeah, there you go. Rival says fishing food review new series. I cook all sorts on the bank. I have chili con carne and rice. I do bacon sandwiches. I do cheese toasties. If that's something you guys would want to see, then I can always add it. But you got to let me know, of course. You know, I did want to do some stalking sessions, but because our season on that syndicate starts at the beginning of May, it's very busy over there at the moment. So what we've got to do is wait for the people to go, oh, this is too hard, this water, and disappear. Then I can go stalking. We will do a stalking session for sure. I might even do some surface fishing, but the ducks and the seagulls over there are a nightmare. Had to post message on Discord because it was too long for YouTube. Oh, fair enough, Dr. Lucan. When I go on, I'll have a look, mate. Bug, we thank you for bringing us the content. I appreciate that, Dr. Lucan. Thank you. And like I said, anything you guys want to see, let me know. I haven't given up on Fishing Sim World. Just make that clear. You will be seeing that and the division probably. I've had a lot going on, personal life stuff as well. So, yeah, we will, we will do it. If you want the rig section, so maybe if you're unsure or you want to see how I tie these rigs, then let me know and I'll tie it for you. It won't be of the quality of some of the bigger programs where they've got 3 cameramen watching them, because I have to set the camera up myself. But I can do that. Any particular rigs that you want to know about or you'd like to see even tied, I can tie. I've been fishing a long time. I'm not great at it. I wish I was. I'm not a professional, but I can tie most of these rigs. So, and if I can't, I will learn how to tie it and then I will tie it for you. So just let me know. Guys and girls, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. That'd be really cool. Dr. Lucan, I agree. Oh, thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate that. I don't care if it's £4. If you go that long, you want a picture. Damn right. That's exactly right. And for me, although I'm after a Syndicate 30, it's not about catching the biggest in the lake for me. One fish in particular that I'm after is a dark mirror. It hasn't even got a name. It's a dark mirror, and it was last caught at £25, I think it was. And it's the colours of this mirror is phenomenal. I've only seen it on a picture. I've seen both sides of it. I've got the picture saved. I will definitely, if I caught that fish, I will be over the moon. However, there is fish in there that happen to be the bigger fish, that are named fish. One in particular is called Right Hand. It's a linear. It is an absolute stunner of a fish. Then you got the chestnut common, which is a big common. I think, I'm not 100%, but I think that might be the one I lost. There's another big common in there called the unit. and it's got a bit of an upturned mouth, but it is massive. It's a 30 plus, I think it's 32, 34 pound, big fish, and it looks amazing. There's a lot of big commons on that lake. Normally having pot noodle. Pot noodles are good. I mean, they're a good stopgap rival, to be fair. I always carry a pot noodle. You know, there's always people on the lake that might go, oh, I was going to stay another night, but I ain't got no food. There you go. There's pot noodle there, mate. Tuck in. Another good thing to take, it sounds crazy, is I like taking a couple of tins of tomato and vegetable soup. Purely for the fact that you can warm it up on your stove and dunk your bread in. Job's a good one, you know. There's loads of foods out there that you can take, and it's so easy. Like, for me, if I can cook it all in one pot, then happy days. Like the chili con carne, it's only tinned chili con carne. It's not great. It's not the greatest. But you take it out of the tin, warm it up. It looks terrible when you take it out of the tin. Warm it up, move it over. You know the microwave rice? I'll just put that in the pan, fry it up with a little bit of oil. Then I add it to the chili con carne and then cook the two together. So you know that you're getting cooked. When it's packet rice like that, microwave rice, it hasn't got any starch in it or anything. So in theory, you shouldn't poison yourself because it's already pre-cooked. Mate, without you, we would have seen all these great people, so thank you for the content. Yeah, no problem, Dr. Lucan, always a pleasure. Do you set up camera before you fish or get rods in water, then turn camera on? I usually set up first, my friend. I normally get there, I normally walk around the lake a couple of times looking for fish. That is the most important thing. Once I've found fish, then I will pick my swim. If I haven't seen fish, then I go on where the latest capture come from. It's not much to go on, or I go on the wind. You know, where's the wind going? Is it a warm wind? Is it a fresh wind? And I move down to that end of the lake. If it's cold, I go on the back of the wind. So it just depends. But I normally get the rods out, get myself set up, because I've usually just finished work. And after a 12-hour night shift and getting to the lake, I am ready to collapse. So I normally get set up, do myself a coffee, do a quick, hello guys, how we doing? Welcome to the vlog, blah, blah, blah. Look, I'm going to crash out for a couple of hours, and then I crash out, you know. Longwater is my go-to lake, and it's so close to me, like 10 minutes away. Oh, nice. Lovely scenery, yeah. It's stocked with plenty of big ones. That's what it's about, guys. Getting, you know, when you're fishing these lakes that have got plenty of big fish, that's what it's about. I'll try soup next time I go. Why not? It's really easy. All you need is your little stove. You've obviously got a stove because you're heating up water. So I bought the tracker pots and pans. It was like a frying pan, a bigger pot, which you do your soup in. And all you do is just keep stirring it. Don't have the flame too high because it'll burn otherwise. And all you do is just keep stirring it and keep checking it until you get it to as hot as you want it. Vegetable soup, honestly, is really refreshing from pot noodles and pastas and things like that, you know. So, right, guys, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you for tuning into the stream. I hope you enjoyed that bit of a different look on the vlog. That was all. It was just an idea. Maybe we'll go back to proper vlogs, but I wanted to come say hello and have a chat with you guys because I haven't for ages. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. That'd be really cool. If you're new around here and you subscribe, that'd be cool. I'd love to get to 4,000 subs this year, I think. I think that'd be really awesome if we could do that. We're slowly sort of building, and it's thanks to you guys. Spread the word, and like I say, any questions or anything, feel free to hook me up on Facebook. There's the link to my Facebook. I am going to open an Instagram account as well, which I'll probably do today, and I'm hoping to call it Big Bug. So keep an eye for that. And also, I'll put it on my social media, on my Facebook, and also on my Twitter, which there's the link to Twitter as well. So if I go on Instagram, I'll post a link on there or something, you know. But look after yourselves, boys and girls. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe. I hope you catch a lump or two if you go fishing. Look after yourselves. Take care. Peace.